don't know what's going on there. It's me wiping my nose, instead of having a, I normally got my little screen. Didn't work this time. Don't know why. First things first. Hello, my darlings. Can you hear me? There's been another update to the software, so I'm just checking that the cameras and the microphones are all working before we get going. If anybody is there, please just let me know whether you can hear me or not. Just before we get started. Anybody there? No? Maybe? My machine's back. Yes, you can hear you. Brilliant. Excellent. Yeah, there's another update and I had to refig all the configure all the microphones again, which is delightful. My baby's back, my sewing machine's back. So I'm very happy about that. So I've been playing on her already today. Getting ready for tomorrow, actually, doing tomorrow's prep. We've it's quiet in the shop today. It's been quiet in the shop for the last couple of weeks, actually. Online's okay, but the shop, I don't think we took about £8 today in the shop, which is crazy. Hi everyone, let's say hello to people. Hi Natalie, hi Joyce, hi Marilyn. Who else is there? Hi Lindy Lou, hope you're feeling better, darling. Hi Helen, hi Eileen, hi Anne, hi Margaret. Hello my darlings, hello. So what we're going to do tonight, I've also done a little sale as well. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to make a little hot pad for your hot stuff in the ovens. It's one of these. We're going to make one of these. But we're going to use some Ruby Star. And I'm going to do almost all of this from a Ruby Star scrap pad. You can see you're going to slide your hand in, get your stuff out the oven. Nice and easy. Okay. So really, really quick and easy little make. I'm going to show you how to make your own pattern, own template for it, which again, super easy. Because I'm doing these out of I'm making this out of a Ruby Star scrap pack. Honestly, I think you can make maybe 5 or 6 out of one pack. I've done scrap packs at half price. Okay, so Ruby Star scrap packs are normally £17.99. They are half price. They are £9 now. And I'm going to do it for 24 hours. I'm going to take it off this time tomorrow. Okay, so if you fancy a scrap pack, go and grab one. I've also done it on only on the Ruby Stars. We've got hardly any of the normal moders in. We're waiting for more ones to come in. But I've got Ruby Star scrap packs and our own scrap packs as well. The white Gecko scrap packs, which is 2 meters of fabric by weight of scraps too. They're half price, which means they are £4. Okay, so that's live on the website. If you fancy having a go at this, or you just love scrap packs, go and grab them. 24 hours, half price. Okay. Hi Grace. Thanks Margaret. Hi Jackie. Hello my lovelies. Right, we're going to go over to the overhead, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to make one of these little hot pads. Okay. I've used some Install Bright in there as well, the insulated wadding, just to give it a bit of extra protection. But the whole idea is they're little, small, you can pick them up quickly, nice and easy. Okay, so this is what we're going to have a play with today. Oh, hang on, that camera's moved. Let me just get that camera back where it should be. There we go. Now I've done it wonky. Well, that's about right. You can kind of see this in the middle now, can't you? Cool. First things first, we are going to make a template. Okay, you don't need to buy a template. You can make one. I've got bog standard T-plate size, which is, what's that? About an 8-inch plate, okay? If you've got circle templates, you want about an 8-inch circle, okay? So I'm going to draw around that on a piece of copy paper, okay? Like that. Okay, so there's my first bit. That plate can come out of the way. I'm going to use that again later. And then, actually I'm going to use it now. And then what I want to do is just pop a ruler like that across the centre. So I know a plate measures 8 inches, so I'm just making sure that that's like that. And then we're going to put the plate upside down like that and just touch the ruler. Okay, and then I'm going to draw again. So I can move my ruler out the way, and I'm going to make another line like that. Okay, this is the bit that we want, okay? This is the bit that's going to be our template. So, how easy was that to make a template? Easy peasy. We're just going to cut this piece out to start with, okay? So, let's just cut it out. And you guys, oh, hi Carol, how are you, lovely? Hi Marion. You guys need to talk to me while I do this, because otherwise it's going to be very boring, just me chattering away. So, I'm just going to cut round here. Anybody been up to anything interesting? Anybody been up to anything new? I finalised today all of our birthday celebration stuff. So we are coming up on our 9th birthday, and as always, we will be having lots of stuff happening throughout September and October for our birthday. And I finalised everything today, so that will be going live soon. I will be able to tell you probably next week what we're going to be up to. Is this a pan grabber? Yes, a pan grabber or a hot pad. Or the nice thing about this is because they're nice and flat, not only could it be a pan grabber, but actually you can just use it for putting a pan on the surface to protect your surface as well, you know, so dual purpose. So there we go, we've made that little template. Move all that out of the way. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start with just a normal piece of wadding. The nice thing about this is you can use up all these little scraps, and these are a relatively quick make. Once you've made one, you'll be surprised. Where's my Sharpie gone again? So I've got a dodgy old Sharpie that's not very, what's the word, you know, it's gone a bit dry. And the nice thing about this is that I just need to roughly, because I don't want it to like soak, you know, a brand new Sharpie would soak into the wadding loads, the ink. So you actually, and it picks up all the fibres, so you don't want to use a new one, use an oldish one. So, because I just need a vague outline round like this. Okay, there we go. So that's what I want, is that like that little moon shape. And then I'm just going to cut that out just very slightly bigger. Like that. Keep this bit for later. Next thing I did was I opened up my scrap pack. So this, as you can see, I opened it up through there because it was a little bit, what's the word, ripped. So this is why I had this one out, but I'm really glad I did because it was really pretty. Eileen, you were on the Severn Valley Railway today. Ah, lovely, lovely, lovely. Right, let me just move some of these bits out of the way. So this is just additional. This was called Strawberry and Friends, which, since I'm highly allergic to strawberries, was kind of ironic. But you can see you've got really nice big pieces in here. Loads and loads of really fun designs. Gorgeous, gorgeous fabrics. I love the Ruby Star stuff. I love all this yogurty things here. All different nice bits. And I mean, what are they? This is the thing I like about the Ruby Star ones. They're 5.5 inches wide. You'd easily get a charm pack out of that. You could, you know, cut 5-inch squares out of it. Hi Sandra, you wanted to watch you back on Seamless Sunday, the demo of the cable tidy, but it's not on the app and to catch up. Have you done a demo of this anywhere else? Yes, Sarah did. It's Sarah Jane's pattern. If you go back on our Facebook page and look for Cord Organizer, it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I will see if I can find a direct link to it, if not for you, and send it you. But yes, it's we did a 1 o'clock on it. Sarah Jane did, and it was it's on there. It's definitely on our Facebook page. So next thing we're going to do is I want some. So I'm using this blue with this just because it picked up all the colours. Is I need a backing for this, so I should be able to get it out of that. Yeah, there we go. Can I get it that way? Yes, I can. Save as much fabric as I can. So, because I can get other bits out of that, and we're just going to spray base this on because we're going to quilt as you go it. Okay. So that bit there, and that bit there. Yeah, it would have been. It was definitely on there because I watched it to double check how to do the zip on it before I went on Seamless. So it's definitely on there. And then we're going to do some quilt as you go on this. Okay. So don't worry about the fact. Basically, I've got the template on there, so I know where to put these pieces. They will get covered up, but then we'll use the template again in a moment. So I'm going to start up here like this. I'm going to add that one on. So I cut this at, what are they, 2.5 inches, but you could do any scraps on this, whatever you've got. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one on like that. Let's have a bit of that tartan one next, and put that one on like that. And I'm just going to double check when I flip that. Yeah, that's fine. Just making sure it's not going to end up down here. So we're going to take this to the machine. I'm going to take these with me because we're just going to add these on, okay, and completely cover, make like a little stripy bit for the front. So over we go. I'm not using a 1/4 inch. I'm just using my bog standard foot, normal sort of 3/8 inch seam allowance. Oh, hang on. I changed the foot. This is 1D. 2 seconds. Let me just, because it's saying that's not the right foot. So I had my free motion foot on before this. So 1D. There we go. No, that's not it. What am I doing? 1D. Oh, see, I'd got used to Sarah's, and now I've got to go back to mine. Right. And my feed dogs are still down because I was free motioning. 2 seconds, guys. Hang on. Let me just cut that thread. See, and there was me thinking I was all organised. Right. Feed dogs back up. Seam allowance back up to normal. There we go. Right. Foot's correct. Right, let's try that again. There we go. Just stitch down, so I'm stitching all the way through like that. Okay, I'll just come back for the first couple. So stitch down there, we're going to flip out on this one. Okay, now can you see that this little piece of fabric is within the template? So when I put my next one on, I'm going to start it over here. So I'm not going to go like that, because then when I opened it, I'd have this empty bit here. All right. So I'm going to start it where it hits the template, like that, and come down to the end of the template there. Don't worry about this little bit. We're going to trim that off. Okay. So back we go. Hi Melba, how are you, love? Okay, and then off we go again. We'll put that one on. Cut my thread. Annie, you're a little star. And then all I'm going to do is just trim off that bit of excess. It's all, you're not going to see it because it's all going to be tucked underneath. But we're going to trim that off. Can you see this okay, guys? I don't know if that might be a bit better. I'm going to flip that one out. And I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to grab another one. Let's have a bit of that yogurty one. Okay, and I'm going to look for where my template is, which is just there. I'm going to start it just there like that. And I'm going to end it down there like that. Okay, this bit just ends up being scrap. Stitch that one on. Like that. And she sounds good. Yes, she does. She's all been freshly oiled and serviced and everything. They've changed a couple of my settings, so I'm going to have to redo those. So there we go, like that. Flip that one out. Let's add the next one on. So again, look for where that template bit is. Add that one on there to there. Like that. I mean, this is very, very free form, okay? There's no real pattern with this. It's very dark though, isn't it? Hang on 2 seconds. Let me just play around with the lights a little bit. Not sure what's going on with that camera, why it's absolutely jet black in one place. I don't know if there's something on the camera, but hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. Okay, let's just trim that bit off. Just hack it off. There we go. Flip that one out like that. Find where it hits the template. Let's have a bit of that one. It's going to go down there to there, and I'm just working my way around. It should only be a couple more. Again, these would be great, charity makes if you're making for, craft stalls, things like that. Okay, that one there. And then, oh, there we go, I've got this little one here, so we're going to add that one there to there. That might just be the last one, actually. it does. You don't have to do it like this. This could be a solid piece of fabric. It could be a mile a minute. You could, put squares together and stuff and just cut it out. It was just, I thought I'll do a bit of quilt as you go because it's easy. Ah, brilliant. That works perfectly. Okay, like that. So I've got the template that I drew out all covered, and now I'm just going to add on some extra quilting. So I'm just going to do some shadow quilting. I've got the edge of the foot down the seam, like that. Edge of the foot down the seam, all the way down. You could use decorative stitches if you wanted on this. You don't have to add any extra quilting. I'm just adding in a bit extra. There we go. That one. You don't have to do it as quilt as you go. You could make a piece of fabric. If you're mile a minute in, you could make a piece of fabric first and then just cut the template out and baste it together if you wanted. I just fancy doing it like this. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the camera, why it's so dark over here. That's very strange. All the technology is just, it doesn't matter how many times I replace it, something's always not working. Yeah, it looks like I'm sat in darkness. I'm not. I got all the lights on. There we go. One last one. And up here. Let's just put a line of quilting in there. Like that. Practice with all your stitches. Absolutely, you could do. Yeah, you could put a different decorative stitch on each one if you wanted to. Lots of ways you can play around with this. Right, back over here, and this is where you need to template again now. So we are going to use that template and just make sure it's in there like that. That you're well within your allowances. Make sure. Can it go up a weeny bit? Not quite. Yes, it can, like that. Draw around it again. So we're going to pop just a pin in the flat in the middle, like that, and we're going to draw around this. Now these are quite dark, so I'm going to use oh no, not that one, because that's got no lead in it. Oh, where's my Roxanne pencil gone? I had it earlier. Don't know where that's gone. Okay, we're just going to have to. Oh, there it is. Because it's on dark. I like the Roxanne. We're just going to draw around that template again, just to get the shape we want. There we go. All the way around. So Joshy's had his cast changed. I don't know if I told you. I think I've seen you all. Josh broke his wrist. He was doing a Tough Mudder and broke his wrist. He had to go back into hospital to have because they put a temporary cast on it. So he had to go and have the permanent one put on. So yeah, we had to do that, which was fun. Have you missed the very beginning? Is it special wadding? This isn't lovely. This piece here, because this is the bit that goes over the back of your hand, I've just used normal wadding. The wadding that we're going to use in here will be Insel Bright. Melba, is there a template to print off, please? There isn't, lovely. If you go back to the beginning of the video, I've just shown you how quickly and easily you can make your own. It's literally with a plate and it's 2 lines. So if you just re-watch it, I'm cutting this out now on the line of the template. If you re-watch it in a moment, right at the beginning, I've shown you how to do the template. It really, it's so easy. It would be criminal for me to charge you for it, frankly. Okay, so just cut around that template shape, like that, all the way around there. There we go. And you can adjust these. You can make these bigger or smaller depending on, if you've got little diddy hands. I used an 8-inch plate, but you could use bigger or smaller, entirely up to you, hon. Okay, right. So what I've done is I've made that front piece like that. Then what we're going to do is I've added a little bit of rickrack in just because I thought it looked cute. But you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I think it adds a nice little element to it. So I need some bias, and I'm going to show you how. I thought I had more bias here. Where's it gone? I'd already cut some. Oh my goodness, I'm being rubbish today. Where's the rest? I've cut a load of it and it's gone already. Ugh, no idea. Right, put that to one side. I'm going to show you how to cut the bias, because bias is very easy to cut yourself. So you can get the back out of a fat. This is a fat quarter. You can absolutely get at least 2 hot pads out of 1 fat quarter, including the bias. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold this so that this edge on the diagonal like that meets that top edge up there. Okay, so this long diagonal is where the bias is. If you fold that up again so it's easier to hold like that, and we're going to trim this edge here. Hopefully you can see that. I've really got to get Phil to lift this camera for me so we've got a bigger space. We just haven't seen him. I haven't seen him to ask him. I barely know where he is at the moment. And then take off that little edge there. Okay, like that. I then cut 1.5 inch strips along here. Okay, so 1.5 on this ruler is on there, like that. You could have a thicker binding if you want, but this worked for this size. Okay, like that. That's probably all I need actually, because I need sort of 2-ish strips. First thing we're going to do is we're going to stitch it onto the back of this. All right, so now obviously this is on the bias. I've got that stretch in it so that I can stitch around here. It's another good project because scraps really is. I mean, you can use tiny little pieces of fabric for this. You don't even have to, these bits doesn't have to be a full piece. It could be another stripy piece you've made, you know, out of a scrap pack. So we're going to start stitching up here, and I'm going to go all the way round like that, and I'm going to cut it off about there because that's plenty. Oh, back there. And we're going to stitch it on the back first because I'm going to bring it through to the front. Okay, so over we go. I'm going to pop these right sides together, give myself a little bit of an overlap there. I don't want to sew this a full like 3/8 of an inch, so I'm just going to move my needle over so it's more like a big 1/4 of an inch, like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to finger hold, I'm holding it with my fingers rather than pin it, and gently easing it round that circle. Now, I like to do my bias like this. I don't like to iron it first. I just find it sits better for me. If you've got like a bias binder maker, or you want to make, do all your creases in first, that's absolutely fine. But I just prefer to do it like this. It's my preferred method. There we go, nearly on the end. And up we go, like that. Okay, so back over here, and we're going to do a little bit of ironing now before I put my rip rack in. First things first, make myself some space. I'm going to very gently press this out, and it's going to look a bit big, but that's right, I promise, okay? So just gently press that out like that, all right? So I've got that nice and pressed out. Flip it over. I'm going to trim off that excess there now. There we go. And we're going to first iron out flats like this, okay? So you're just going to pull that over like that and give that a press. Okay, we're just trying to make this fabric behave, basically. Do what we want it to do. Like that. So you've got a nice neat edge there now. Okay. Then we're going to flip this under. So I'm going to turn this under so it's almost touching the wadding. Can you see? You can see just a weeny bit there. Okay. And then iron again. And work my way around like that. While I'm doing this, so while I was on Seamless Sunday, we had a very funny craft clinic. It was really enjoyable. There were some great questions sent in, and we didn't stop laughing the whole day. It was such a lovely bunch of ladies to work with. We all know each other quite well now from being up there all the time, And we just didn't stop laughing the whole day. It was a fabulous day. Fabulous day, it really was. And, you know, we sold some stuff as well, which is always good. But one of the questions, and I know Sian's put it on Gigglers today as well, is if you were any sewing tool, what tool would you be? So that's what I'm going to ask you as well tonight. If you haven't answered on the Gigglers, what tool would you be? So while you're all typing away, the bit you saw was very entertainment, just a shame we can't watch it all back. You should be able to. I don't understand why they haven't got it all on there. It should be on there, lovely, on their rewind. I know they've done something odd with the rewind recently, but I'll have a look for it and see if I can find the link for the whole thing. Right, what I'm doing is I'm just going to put my rickrack on like that and then just ease this binding over like that. Just so you've got a little bit of it peeping out. And where's Dave gone? There he is. What I need now is some clips, because clips work easier on this. I'm going to put some clips on to hold this all down while we take it to the machine. There we go. Put that rickrack on like that. Make sure that's all tucked in nicely. This is probably the fiddliest bit of the whole thing. It's not difficult. It's just, you know, take your time with this a weeny bit and just get that rickrack in nicely. Oh, hang on, need some clips. So, what sewing tool would you be? What would you sort of think of yourself as? I'm definitely starch. I think I'm such a control freak. I like everything kept under control, and starch does that. So that's definitely what I'd be. I'd be a bottle of starch savvy. So that's my question for you guys tonight. You haven't watched it on Planner yet. Did you say slapper? I didn't say slapper. Sandra, you'd like to be a bobbin? I like a bit of winding up. Ow, I like that skill. So you're a little bit of like to wind people up a little bit. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it back to the machine. I'm going to top stitch nice and close to this edge. I'm going to keep it in the grey that I've got on, okay? But match it if you want to. Lynn, you love a bit of rickrack under your binding on your quilts, hides and multitude, doesn't it? And it looks really pretty as well. I think it's a really nice thing to add to binding. Definitely on quilts and stuff as well. Why not? Why not use all these little bits of trimmings and stuff that we've got? Okay, so I'm just going to line my needle up just about there. There we go. Take that first binding clip off. And I'm going to go slow it down a weeny bit on this and steady and try and get as neat a line of top stitching as I can, which is saying something for me because I'm not the neatest. I should be a foot pedal really because I go far too fast on stuff, or speed control. Ready to go, and I am, as you can see, going really quite slowly on this because I'm trying to get that top stitching nice and even, because it's going to be front and centre on your little hot pad. So if you are making these for a friend or as a gift or something, it's nice to have it neat, isn't it? There we go. Okey-doke. Not sure about a tool, but maybe some wadding as you're quite squidgy. I like that, Maria. You're not squidgy, woman. You look fantastic. There we go. You did last time I saw you anyway. There we go. So that's going to be kind of the front of my my little hot pad. Like I said, you can vary the design of this however you want. Okay, kind of looks like baby's bib at the minute, doesn't it? I'm just going to now trim that off in line with kind of the edge there. Okay, like that. And then we're going to put that one aside. So let's make myself some space again. Seam ripper, because you're a bit of a perfectionist. A ruler, as you like to organise. Loving all those guys. So next thing we want to do is use the plate that you used, or whatever circle you used, again, for the back. So I'm going to put the plate on like that and draw around it. And again, use these teeny tiny bits of wadding, all these bits that we get left and we never know what to do. An embroidery machine to draw pretty pictures in thread. Oh, that would be nice. Sandra, you have a spinning round organised on your centre for clips and things. I like to think of that too. You try to be organised while spinning round and round in all directions. I like that. Right, so how you decorate this one, again, is up to you. This time I'm going to use some strips from the same scrap pack. So you can see, I mean, it just proves how much you get in here. Where's the other bits? So all I did was cut these pieces in half. So I've still got all of these strips as well. Sorry, my chest is a bit bad today. So even though I've got salvage, if I trimmed that salvage off, that would still be a 2-inch strip. So, you know, I've got these ones and all of this, so much left over. Honestly, I could make about 20 hot pads out with that one pack. So I'm just going to do a stripe on this. So I'm going to put one, let's put that one down the centre, like that. And another one on right sides together. Now I haven't got anything on the back of this one at the moment, but there's a reason for that. Yes. Did I do it? Oh, hang on, I forgot one did. No, that's right. That's right. We're gonna piece this first on normal wadding, and then we're gonna. Oh, sorry, my chest. Hang on, let me just grab my coffee. We're going to do the quilting with the Insel Bright in a minute. Okay, so at the moment it's just wadding in strips, and we're going to just cover this circle. So over we go, back to the machine. I'm going to very quickly. You could use pretty salvages as pieces. Absolutely, I love using the salvages. I use them in a lot of things. I don't really believe in cutting them off, particularly if you're sort of like doing things like this. You know, a lot of the salvages are really beautiful. They have little pictures on them. They've got cute writing. You know, it's lush. Why not? There we go. So I'm going to open this one out. So you're going to have to put up with me just very briefly while I just add in some of these pieces to cover this circle. I'll pop that one down like that. Like I said, I'm doing this in strips, but it could be anything. You know, crumb quilting. Make some fabric out of crumb quilt. You know, all those tiny little scraps. That one on next. Let's put some flowers on this one. There we go. Nearly there. On that side. Sarah and I have been deciding workshop. Oh, actually that just fits, so that's fine. Let's put another one this side. Workshops for the retreat today. We've been sorting out what we're going to be doing in the 3 November retreats that we've got. So what projects we're going to be doing, all that sort of thing. So quite a busy old day, a really good organising day, which is quite good. Okay, and will that one go? Yeah, that one reaches. Oh, they're the same pattern, but never mind, not changing it, it's scrappy. So back over here, like that. Okay, I've definitely covered all of the template, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut that out. Now, because I'm using a plate, I can use my rotary cutter around the plate. Okay, so that's literally what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold it in the centre, go around that way. Trying to move myself rather than move the fabric that way, and I can't get round the table because obviously I'm on a because of the cameras and stuff. So line that back up like that and just do that last little bit. So just cut round your plate. Okay, if you're not using a plate and you're using something flat, draw around it and then cut it out. Okay, don't risk your fingers. All right, so that's that bit. Next thing we want to do is we're going to put it on some Insel Bright. Now, in order to protect your hand, because your hand's going to be in here, you've got to remember this, I want the shiny side down. I want the shiny side to be where the heat, because can you see it's like a fluffy side and a more shiny side on Insel Bright, or whatever it is you're using, you know, heat protective wadding. Okay, you want the shinier side to be at the heat source. So I'm going to add that on like that. Okay, and now I'm going to add my backing piece on. So a bit here, you can see these big triangles left from where I did the binding. First thing, I'm just going to cut off a weeny bit of this excess. I don't need all of that on it. So just chop it off like that. There we go. Just get rid of a bit of that. Spray these, baste these two together. A little bit glue there. Like that. And then I can use this bit here and tuck it right down in this corner like that. I've done that so in case I need more binding, I've got that bias still. Otherwise I would be tucking it in, but I might need a wee bit more binding. I can get another strip off the bias then. Okay. Just hacking this out so this will be the back, and then spray baste that bit. So there we go. Sorted. Right, now we're going to do a little bit of quilting. So I'm just going to do some shadow quilting to echo this. So I want to get all those layers together. So I'm just going to go through. It's chunky. We're going to, can you lift your work up like that? Or further up? Sorry, was I too far down here? Sorry. I will try and keep it up a little bit further up there. I'm going to just do some shadow quilting now, okay? So I've got the 4 layers. So I've got my backing fabric, my Insel Bright, the normal wadding, and then the stripy bit that we just pieced, okay? So back over we go. And this time I'm going to up my stitch length because I'm going through a lot of layers. So I'm going to go up right up to sort of 4 like that, and I'm just going to echo the quilting we did on the front. Oh, machine, I've missed you. Don't get me wrong, I was very grateful to Sara to lend me her machine, but would a walking foot be necessary for this bit? I would absolutely put a walking foot on. I'm very lucky this machine has got a built-in walking foot. Can you see this bar back here? That's my basically the drive, the walking foot. So there isn't actually a walking foot for this machine because you don't need it because it's got one built in. So, but yes, I would absolutely put a walking foot on for this and go slow because it's a walking foot for a reason. That way. Again, whatever quilting you do is entirely up to you. I'm just echoing what I did on the front. You don't need a lot though. It's a very clever machine. It is. I'm very glad to have her back. She's also handling these layers a lot better than Sara's machine did. Sara's machine didn't like the thickness of stuff, where this one just plows through anything. I love her. Right, okay. Back over we go. Sorry, this is taking a bit longer than I thought. And then we're going to pop that back over like that. Line that back up. Remember, everything moves a little bit when you quilt. And then we're going to trim it all off now, all of that excess. Like that. Ooh. Make sure you've gone through all the layers, which I haven't quite there. There we go. And then I'm just going to turn the whole thing so that that's like that. Making sure, there we go, that I've got my circle. Okay, get rid of that bit of nonsense there. Now what you can do is decide which way round you want this. Now I want to be able to see all of them, so I'm going to go vertically, and I'm going to do that. And what I want to do is just now, everything will have moved a weeny bit, okay? Do you have a name for your machine? She's Bernie. She's a Bernina, so she's Bernie. I don't know. I just made that up on the spot. I do always call her she though. I don't know about you. What about your machines? Are your machines male or female? Mine's a girl, definitely. Now, can you see these bits here are just sticking out a little bit? That's to be expected. Everything moves a bit when you quilt, so don't worry about that. Okay, we're just going to trim that off now. So what I'm going to do is literally just trim that off in line. Get rid of that teeny tiny little bit there, like that, and then clip it there. And the same this side. Just trim it off in line with the backing, because things stretch a bit. It's okay. What clips? What about you? Do you have a name for your machines? Do you all name your machines? Is your machine a girl or a boy? Mine's definitely a girl. I always say she. Debbie Shaw and I were talking about that on Seamless. Is it male or female? Yeah, she's female because she's hard working. That's what it is. Both machines are girls, but you don't know why. I know. My dad used to be a mechanic, and bless him, and he always used to refer to cars as she's, as girls. So right now we're just going to bind the whole thing. We're going to bind it all together. So you want some more binding strips. And I just need to make sure I've got enough to go around. I'm going to add one little bit onto here just in case. I'm going to add this extra little bit on just in case. So I'm going to just pop these right sides together. Let me move this out of the way. So I've got my 2 bias strips there. I want to put them right sides together like that. Okay, and I'm going to join them along the diagonal, which is that way there. Okay. So top left to bottom right, and then I'll trim this bit off. And just pop a pin in. And then it's very similar to what you have. Your machine has many names, especially when things are going wrong. Sandra, your car is a she. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like I said, my dad was when he was alive and he was a mechanic. He always referred to cars as she's or machinery. So yours is Betty. You used a lot of Liberty fabrics. You do. Yours is Betty Boo, isn't it? Lindy Lou and Betty Boo. Right. So just don't stitch down that diagonal line. Chop off that excess, and I would press this seam open now, okay? Because it's easier with bias to have an open seam, I find, on this bit. Your dad was the same. He was an aircraft engineer and always called planes she. I wonder why that is. I wonder if I'm gonna have to Google that later and wonder why people always call machinery she's. We'll have to. There's probably a reason behind it. Okay, so again, we're going to do exactly what we did on this piece here. Okay, we're going to start at the back and pull it forward. All right. Oh, can you do it on the front and go backwards? Oh, you could do, I suppose. But then you can have an extra line of stitch in there, and I don't want that, I don't think. No, I'm going to do it as I did before. So, doesn't matter where you start. I'm going to start here, and we're going to stitch all the way around. So. There's a little question for you. What did all your dads and mums do as jobs? Was there something in particular they did? My dad was a car mechanic for years and years and years, and then he worked for Doughties after that, which they made all the parts for the Airbus A380s, was it? You know, the really, really big aeroplanes. They made parts for that. Right, there's a hell of a chunky bit here going on, so give it a bit of welly. Keep your walking foot on when you're doing this, okay? Keep your walking foot on. I'm just working my way around like this. Oh, that went a bit wonky. Never mind. You can always go back in and stitch more. My mum ran a playgroup for years and years and years when we were growing up. And then she retrained. She worked for Disney for a little while too. And then she retrained and became a pharmacy dispenser. So what was that? Your dad and his gender is all referred to car as she. Ships are always referred to she as well. Oh, cool. Your dad was a gas meter reader and your mum was a secretary. Oh, cool. That's cool. Oh, God, we don't have gas meter readers anymore, do we? Because everyone's smart meters. But I remember my mum used to say, oh, the gas man's here to read the meter. Your dad was a watch repairer. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool job. According to Google, the tradition... Oh, I missed it. I will read it later. Sorry, love. I missed the comment. It went too fast. Got to go a dog walk. Forgets it dark, but you'll watch later. Oh, cool. Fabulous. Well, have a lovely dog walk, hun. Your dad was a window cleaner, swept chimneys in odd jobs. Lush. And your dad was a bus driver and a mama cook. Lovely. Oh, I'll go back to Google in a minute. Right, I've come in towards the end now. So, just before I do... I'm going to just back stitch this bit. Hang on 2 seconds. And we're going to do this over on the overhead so I can show you what I'm doing. Your dad was an engineer in aerospace and your mum was a mum until you ordered and she worked in the accounts. Ah, that's cool. See, it's interesting. Different jobs as well. There's lots of jobs nowadays. There wouldn't be any influencers, would they? So, with this piece that you started here, what you want to do is chop it off. About there, what's that, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and fold over that raw edge, okay, like that. And this, I am going to use a pin right now, so I'm going to line that up just here and pop a pin in just there, just to hold it down a second. And then I want this piece to be enough just to come over a weeny bit, so cut off a bit extra, so about there. And that's then going to lie over the top of that, which it does, okay? So that's fine. So I'm going to start stitching back here and ease that in, okay, round there. Back over to the machine. Your dad worked for the Scottish office and your mum was a secretary and worked for the Inland Revenue. Fair enough. Natalie, your dad was in the RAF and your mum was a civil servant until mum and dad got married. And she's going to go back to work. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, see, it's interesting, isn't it? I love it. I love learning about people's histories like that. Jobs were different and all, weren't they then, to what they are now? There we go. So I'm just making sure that's lying across the top. I'm just getting to that pin so that can come out now. And all the way round like that. There we go. Oh, I'm going to go back and read your comments later. I'm going to read them properly. They're moving too fast for me to read very well. So just first things first, before we then flip this over to the front, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim down some of this excess. Okay, so go around and you want to trim it back to not quite 1/8 of an inch, between 1/8 and between 1/8 and 1/4. You know, you want it to be quite slim, this bit, so just trim off any bits where it's gone a bit wonky. See, like here, I've got a bit too much there, so let's just get rid of a weeny bit of that. Okay, because you don't want too much bulk in the binding. If you're finding that you've got too much bulk in the binding, either trim it off or cut wider binding. Cut yourself 2 inches rather, or 1 3/4. Okay, like that. And then we're going to push all this out and over, which feels like it's going to be quite, it is quite tight if you look. Like that. Over we go, like that. Flip it out and give that a good press. Get the old starch savvy on this. Jackie, your dad was a fireman and then went into fire prevention, and Mum was a shorthand typist and worked in various places. Oh, lush. Your dad was a Spitfire pilot. Oh, that's cool. And then went into social services. Your mum didn't work after she was born. Oh, no, so many. That was... It was when people could afford just to have one income, wasn't it? Nowadays, everyone has to work. It's quite a privilege to be a stay-at-home mum nowadays, isn't it? There we go. So, give that a really good iron. Bit of starch as well that helps it lie all flat. And then, on the front, we're going to do just like we did on this bit here. You're just going to tuck that under, like this, all the way under to get rid of that raw edge. And get all the clips back, and you just top stitch that into place. Okay, tuck that in there like that, all the way round, and then you can top stitch it, and your little hot pad is all done. Okay, it's tucked under there and there. What I've got, oh yeah, I've just realised what the time is. I'm not going to top stitch this now, okay? I won't top stitch this now, because it's just a top stitch, just like we did over here, okay? What I'll do is just tuck all this. When you get to that bit there, where the join is, just make sure that's nice and neat, all tucked under nicely, both sides, like that. There we go. Giving it a little bit of a pull as well, because it's on the bias. Sometimes you just get the shape that you want. You just need to give it a, manhandle it a bit. There we go, like that. And then I would just top stitch all the way around again. And then if you want to be able to hang these up, you could absolutely put a little tab on here if you wanted to. Is the Moda quilt along tomorrow night? Is it tomorrow night or is it next week? I think it's tomorrow night. Oh, I can't remember, guys. I think it's tomorrow night. Let me check. Would you believe it? Look, tomorrow. It's just come up, my reminder on my phone. Yes, it's tomorrow night, lovely. You'll be seeing it. I'm here at 1 o'clock tomorrow and then later on as well. Your dad was a fitter turner and your mum worked for Paul's in a cleaner in the maternity hospital. Ah, oh, lush. Oh, see, I love it. I love all the history of people. Yeah, top stitch out on that. If you wanted to, like I said, if you wanted to put a little hanger on, you could. I actually think I'm more likely to use them if they're not hung up somewhere, if they're just dabbed on the side. But I really like those. I think they're really cute, really nice and easy to make. Oh, excuse me. And quite quick. Once you've made one, you could, you can do all the bits. And if you're making them for presents and all, I think they'd be a cute present. If you put a hanger on them as well, you could hang them up in the kitchen or in your sewing room. And keep stuff in them. You'd be able to keep all your pens and stuff in them. They don't actually have to be hot pads. They could be little storage pods, couldn't they? They'd be quite cute hung up on the wall with like all your pens and bits and pieces in them. So anyway, that's it for tonight, my lovelies. Don't forget, so I'm coming back over here. Oh, excuse me. That's because I've sneezed. I've got all snuffly. Don't forget, because I used a Ruby Star scrap pack. Well, I used a teeny tiny amount of a Ruby Star scrap pack to make these. I've put them on at half price, okay? If you want them, now remember the contents vary. You're not guaranteed to get this one. Sorry, but you're not. The contents vary. It's the same as any of the scrap packs. That I can't guarantee what's in them, guys. But they are on at half price, the same as our own scrap packs, which are 2 meters of fabric, okay? There aren't that many of them, so grab them while you can. I will keep that on for 24 hours. In fact, I'll take it off just before I do the Moda Live tomorrow night. I'm glad you reminded me, because I did have an alarm go off on my phone, but I had forgotten. If you are doing the Moda quilt along, it's going to be the last one tomorrow night. We're just going to talk about squaring up and how to put things together and how to, sort of poodle around with things. So I will see you then. But for the rest of you, I will see you, sorry, excuse me, at 1 o'clock tomorrow. I have a sneaky little free motion applique improv type thing happening. I don't know if you can see him in the back. I've been playing around with just some improv stuff, so we're going to be doing a little session on that tomorrow. So I'll see you all at 1, my darlings. Take care. Bye.